All right, folks, this is for Wednesday. I think it's an A-Day. If we look here, you're supposed to do the pre and post stuff on Monday, but we'll go over it real quick, see how you evaluated yourself. Students will be able to summarize the relationship between genes, chromosomes, and DNA. We should all know that DNA makes up genes and genes make up chromosomes. The basic building block of DNA is a nucleotide. Genes obviously determine who you are, what color hair you have, so on and so forth. And we know that there's a total of 46 chromosomes in a human cell, so hopefully we understand that concept relatively well. Students will be able to describe the overall structure of the DNA molecule. That was objective 2. For this one, I highly suggest you go over the coloring guide that we did. We also took notes on that. I thought that did a pretty good job of explaining that. Students will be able to summarize the events of DNA replication. Again, we did a DNA replication activity. I realize I collected that and probably have not returned it, but you can get a blank copy of it on the Google Classroom for the day that we did it. There's also a good active art representation that talks about all that. Remember, DNA unzips, it copies itself, we form 2 new strands, happens in S phase of interphase. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Students will be able to compare and contrast DNA and RNA. I added an updated video yesterday on that. Remember, DNA double-stranded, RNA single-stranded. DNA has the sugar deoxyribose, RNA has the sugar ribose. DNA has the bases A, T, G, and C, all right, and RNA has the bases A, U, G, and C. There are 3 types of RNA. There's really only 1 type of DNA. There's mRNA, which stands for messenger RNA. There's tRNA, which stands for transfer RNA. And there's rRNA, which stands for ribosomal RNA. Remember, mRNA carries the message from the DNA in the nucleus to the ribosome, and the transfer RNA carries the amino acids to the ribosome to start building the protein. Students will be able to describe the 3 main types of RNA. Oh, I just did that one for you. Should be pretty easy. I'm sure most of that was in your notes with Dr. Azar. Students will be able to understand and summarize the steps in protein synthesis. Again, notes with Dr. Azar, good active arts, good videos linked to the Google Classroom on that particular day. 7, students will be able to understand the importance of proteins in living things. This one's obviously all life is protein, and I kind of went over the highlights of that yesterday. And then students will understand the difference between a gene and a chromosomal mutation. And so that basically was talking about the mutation stuff that we talked about yesterday. Point mutations, frameshift mutations, an insertion and a deletion. And remember, that happens at a specific base. All right, a chromosomal mutation is going to be like Klinefelter's or Down syndrome, in which a whole chromosome is affected. Whereas in our little smaller mutations or gene mutations, only 1 gene could potentially be affected. All right. If we scroll down to the vocab words, nucleotides, basic building blocks of nucleus, base pairing, A goes with T, G with C, DNA replication, mRNA, RNA, tRNA, transcription, translation, codon, anticodon, point mutation, frameshift mutation. All of those are words that we went over. The other thing I would add that I did not have on my objectives is we did do a little bit of the history of DNA, and we talked about Pauling and Watson and Crick and all of those individuals. All right. So what I would do is I would open up the review that I have here. All right, and I would work through this with a partner. Some of these are questions that you've already seen. Some of them are not. Some of it is from the book. You're going to get this wheel for the test, so you won't have to memorize all that stuff. And we'll go from there. Again, I added this, and I can't stress this enough. This is just from the book, and it has all the answers in here, and it might be worth you reading through. All right, it might help. And I'm not obviously collecting anything regarding that, but I will want to collect the review that was handed out on Monday. So Wednesday is a straight review day. Use the time wisely. Don't play on your phone. And then you'll be taking the test on Thursday. Good luck, everybody.